Welcome to this hands-on practice session for Linux root access security. Today you'll see exactly how to implement secure root access controls on a live Linux system. We'll work through each command step by step, showing you the exact output you can expect. So by the end of the session, you'll have practice experience with checking root account status, using su and sudo commands, securing the root account, and implementing current security best practices. So let's dive straight into the terminal and start practicing. So first off, let's examine the current state of the root account on your system. This is always your starting point as an administrator. For this, we'll type sudo get ent shadow root. Now I'll explain what you are seeing here. The second field shows that the root account has already password set, which means the password is set for the root account. This is not that good. The good security is not to set a password for the account, for the root account. Now let's also check who currently has sudo access. For this, we'll construct a quite long command with sudo grep followed by -v, and in single quotes we'll use a caret and hash. Then let's continue this long command to the next line, and we'll be looking in etc sudoers directory as well as in etc sudoers.d/* for everything that is inside sudoers.d directory. Then let's continue to the next line with the following: 2 greater than dev null, and we'll grep -uppercase e the following text in parentheses all sudo and will. And I made a typo in will, so that should be double E here. And we'll run this command and find all the users with sudo access. I can find my user here, and that's it. No other users with sudo access. So let me clear the screen with Ctrl L and get back to this command. So what it does, this grep -v caret hash means show all lines that do not begin with a hash, meaning show all lines which are not commented out. So these lines don't define actual user permissions. Then we target all sudo configuration files. The main file is etc sudoers and all files in the etc sudoers.d. Because modern Linux system, especially RHEL or CentOS and Ubuntu, use this etc sudoers.d to modularize sudo rules, for example, per user, per role, or per application. So don't ignore this etc.d file or directory. That's where admins and attackers often add new rules. And this is how configuration management tools like Ansible or Puppet add sudo rules cleanly and safely. Then this part, 2 more than dev null, means that send all error messages or std error to the void, meaning don't show them. Because some files in etc sudoers.d may not be readable by your user, even with sudo in rare cases, or the directory might be empty, so you don't want errors cluttering your security audit output. And finally, we pass the results to next command and find privileged access rules. Now we filter for lines containing any of either all, sudo, or will. All indicates broad command or host access, group commonly used for admin access, this sudo group, and will group for admin access for RHEL or CentOS Linux. And by the way, sudo group is for for Ubuntu or Debian Linux. And this minus uppercase E enables extended regular expressions, so this pipe works as OR operator, and it catches lines like you see on my screen. So these are privilege escalation rules who can run what is whom. Now let me switch to my GitHub repository, which I've created for this particular course, and insert this line here. The file will be named find sudoers. I'll commit changes, and by the way, let me check if I've got git here, git version, command not found. Let's install it, sudo dnf install git. Yes, that'll install git on this system. Yes, and now I can clone this repository to my local system. http / actually we'll need https github.com. My repository is learned lessons, and the repository for this particular course is Linux sec. Let me double check it. Yes, Linux sec. Learned lessons, Linux sec. So we'll clone this repository here, and here it is. We can change to this directory and list its contents. Here it is. So I can cat the file. And by the way, to run the file right from this directory, we can change mod plus X for find sudoers. Now it's green. And we can run it with / and the file's name. Not to type this long command by yourself. Okay, let's clear the screen and continue. Now let's see what sudo privileges you currently have. I'll type sudo -l. So this tells us the current user can run any command with sudo maximum privileges without password, this particular output. And if we create a test user, let's create a test user with add user. Let's name it test user, and we'll need to use sudo privileges for this action, and then sudo passwd for the test user. Let's set a password for him, and let's su test user. Now if we run sudo -l, we'll get this message. Sorry, user test user may not run sudo on lead srv. Let's exit his session and clear the screen. Now let's see how the su command works when the root account has a password. First I need to temporarily set a root password for demonstration purposes. So if the root account has not got password, you can set it with sudo passwd root. Set a new password and verify the password is set with sudo get and shadow root. So the second field is not asterisk, meaning the password for the root account is set. The second field contains an encrypted password hash instead of an asterisk here. Now let's try the su command. So I'll type su, I'll provide the password. Notice I'm now root, but I'm still in the original user's home directory. Let's check it with pwd command, and who am I? I'm root, I'm in the previous user's directory. Now let's exit with exit command and try su with login shell. So I'll type su dash. Again, I'll provide the root's password. clear this screen and run pwd. I'm in the root's home now, and who am I? Root. So now I'm in root's home directory with a proper login environment. Let's exit this session and continue.